Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. It's time for Owin's Field Report, sponsored by Les Schwab Tire Centers.
Not great. End of report. I mean, I hate to put it that way, but again, we did have that little blip of some fish getting caught on the Willamette on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, very much dead. Lots of boats that are out there participating. A lot of that's because the conditions are perfect. River overall is in great shape and with nice weather, and things should improve this upcoming week, you would hope, right? Again, I'm a duck hunter. I'm ever the optimist. Steelhead, same thing. No good reports that I received from anywhere yesterday. I do know that there was a fish or two caught locally and a fish or two caught on one of the popular North Rivers on the coast. And you all know which one that is. Wilson! But overall, very, very slow. Again, with some of the weather that we've got coming this upcoming week, that should improve conditions with a little bit of bouncing and dropping in all the rivers everywhere. We'll show you those in a second. All we can hope is that the steelhead kind of make their way through. It is the second week now of March, so it's still full-blown winter steelhead season, but there's certainly a large amount of folks that are making that conversion and or just going right into the spring Chinook season. So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of pans out this upcoming week, this next weekend. Hopefully have some interesting reports to share there. In a little bit, we're going to talk about our other Chinook fisheries with Bill Monroe Jr. We're going to talk about that north of Falcon process, what you can expect out on the saltwater and, of course, in the Columbia. But, of course, that is down the road. At least we'll give you a heads up on what you may expect during those fisheries. But quickly, though, let's get into the fish counts. Nothing too amazing here. Again, we're going to keep it up, of course. This is that time of year. Nothing has made it over the falls. Nothing has made it over Bonneville. Over Bonneville. There it is. Nothing has made it over there yet, which is absolutely normal. Nothing interesting there whatsoever. But we'll always be looking for that first one that does go over what that date. Maybe we should make a game out of that somehow, Ryan. What's the first day we see a fish go over either the falls or the dam? Or which one will get the first fish to go over? Maybe that's the way to do it. I don't know. At the very least, we'll keep track of that. Taking a look at the turbidity on the Willamette, I would expect that everything's very much similar to yesterday. It was in the 6s. You really can't ask for better conditions right now. This is literally perfect. Okay, level, tide set, everything is perfect. It just happens to be in the second week of March. You're just going to have to cover a ton of ground and hopefully get lucky when you get out there. Along with that, though, let's take a look at the level for the Willamette and then, of course, the Columbia if you're out there chasing some fish around. No reports yesterday from the Columbia, and I know that there was folks chasing out there. Now, this has changed since yesterday. There was not any sort of a significant bounce that was forecasted. So there is a little bit of a bounce coming for this upcoming weekend, but still such a slow process as you go through the week. Nothing to be concerned about if you're going to be on the Willamette chasing fish this week. Maybe by the weekend, though, with that kind of a bounce, might put things off. Might be better to save a little bit of fuel and some baits. And same thing with the Columbia. So those have both changed since yesterday, the forecasts, that is. In the end, this week on the Willamette, still good conditions overall. Clarity should hold out unless there's some sort of slide or something interesting that happens there. Smaller rivers, same thing. Pretty, I mean, you really can't argue with the conditions there. Maybe as of today, a little low. You know, certainly clear conditions, nothing to be concerned with. But if you have the opportunity to get out, it just seems like everything is just slowed way down as opposed to just, say, 2 weeks ago on a lot of the different rivers out there. Looks like the coast is going to get enough of a bounce. All of these have changed since yesterday as well. Again, Slot, same thing, showing a pretty significant bounce. Did not show that yesterday. So they have made some significant upgrades. We'll see how it actually plays out as the week goes on, how much rain we actually have coming into the region. For all you folks over there in Southwest Washington that I've always wanted to be, or wanted to at least understand what the CCA does, what they're all about, this is a great option and great opportunity for you to do so. Wednesday the 12th, they've got a meeting going on. You'll have an opportunity to meet a bunch of folks from the CCA, and if you're already a member, well, here's an event for you. Go check it out. It's at Big Al's. That's in Vancouver. If you are not a member of the CCA, this could very well entice you to do so. We need all the help that we can get. There's absolutely no question of that. Doesn't matter. You know, if it's a CCA, if it's the Northwest Steelheaders, which would love to have your participation as well, or other groups that are out there that are on our side as to try to help these fish out as much as possible, please do so if you can. Then, of course, you always want some free stuff, and I got a couple of them for you. First one, send Jason at Procure an email. You'll be entered in to win this prize pack, which is now slanted towards early spring Chinook fishing, and for that matter, all Chinook fishing, curing herring, and making sure that you've got everything smelling and fishing as good as possible when you do get out there on the water. And if you want to have yourself a little bit of really good breakfast and a dinner the night before, Abby's is doing a giveaway through Outdoor GPS now. Super thrilled about this, by the way. You'll get a gift card for a giant pizza of your choice. All you got to do is go to gps@abbys.com. One winner per week. You need to enter in each week. Let me say that again. You need to enter in each week so that you are all aware that it's not a recurring thing. You need to go ahead and do that, but you might have that option to win something cool. Now, weather. Obviously, with the rain that's coming into the area, you just saw the forecasts on what they were saying may happen. Those river levels, at least the forecast, did change. So we'll find out from Peyton Major what is actually going to happen here. And it looks like it's just going to be some rain in each day going forward. Peyton, am I reading that correctly?
Yes, pretty much every single day. Also, I pulled up your friend, our mascot today. It's our dog walk forecast. I don't know if you could see.
Hey, look at that.
Yes, he sent us, and I thought it was really cute. Okay, anyway. It's going to be pretty dry this morning, but then that's all going to change. Here is the kind of lingering little bits of that atmospheric river we were tracking yesterday. Not an atmospheric river anymore. Still has a pretty strong frontal boundary. That's going to start to arrive later on this evening. Plenty of time to get outside. This thing is slow moving, maybe getting into Astoria by around 4 o'clock this afternoon, and then the metro around 7 or 8. Central Valley's holding off until 10 or 11 tonight and continuing into the first part of Monday. So overnight tonight and into the early hours of Monday, we're only expecting about 1/4 of an inch, maybe up to a 1/2 an inch, especially in the Cascade foothills. Here's our active pattern. We always like to look at the jet stream, right? So this is the influencing factor of our weather patterns. Another big dip in that on Wednesday, and then an even further one on Saturday into the weekend, and that one actually looks even stronger. So we have morning rain tomorrow. I think most of the morning Tuesday going to be dry. PM showers arrive. Wednesday's one of our wetter days. Thursday, some on and off showers, and Friday also one of our heavier days. Looking at our European model, this is just going to summarize all those wet days we have. Certainly cannot rule out 2, maybe 3 inches of rain, but I think it's a healthy amount of beneficial rain because we have those breaks here or there. I mean, you saw those slight increases in the river levels. That's just reflective of those little dry breaks that we'll have. And Thursday's one of those drier breaks with just a few lingering showers. Highs, by the way, cooling back down to near normal and to the low to mid 50s. And I think Friday will be our coolest day, 49 degrees. So good idea to have our weather app, Owen, just so you have radar and you're pretty much prepared for anything that comes your way.
That's a very good point. The app helps out in a number of different ways, and you can always follow along with what Peyton is forecasting as well. Peyton, thank you very much. It's a great forecast for all of us.
Thank you.
All right, real quickly, let's go ahead and talk to Grant. Grant is from Newport. Looks like he's got a report on herring, and a lot of folks are going to be interested in this, Grant. It's a ton of fun to chase them, but what's your report to share with everyone?
Hey, Owen. Yeah, we were out last night for a couple hours, and I think we ended up with like 42. The schools were pretty small, but, you know, if you could kind of stay on top of them for a little bit, you were able to pick a few off, and then once you found them again, just kind of picking a few off here and there. But it was a beautiful evening and great time on the bay.
For some of the folks that are out there watching, Grant, is it easy to find the schools of herring? Do you have is there tricks to finding them? Are you using electronics, or you just go back to places that you found them before?
I mean, we're watching the fish finder pretty much the whole time, just, you know, seeing the little balls of them. And, yeah, but, you know, we would do like little circles and stuff and kind of find them in the same spot. But, yeah, definitely watching the electronics.
Very good. And I got to ask about the rigging that you're using. Are you using the sabiki rig styles, or are you changing that up as well?
No, we were just using the sabikis. Very
cool. It is a lot of fun. You said that some of them were small, some were larger. So were they ranging from like a green label green label size up to like maybe blacks or blues, or are you saying even smaller than that?
Yeah, pretty much. I'd say green to blacks probably.
Very cool. It's pretty neat to be able to catch your own bait, especially if you're going to use it to chase Chinook around. Grant, thanks for the report, my friend. We appreciate it. All right, everyone.
Thank you.
We're going to cut to a break. When we come back, we're going to have Bill Monroe Jr. here in the studio. We're going to talk about the process of figuring things out on the saltwater, which in turn tells us what may happen on the Columbia as well. Bill is in the middle of this stuff daily. Nobody better to find out all this information of what our future of 2025 looks like for chasing salmon around, either it be in the saltwater or in the main stem of the Columbia. We'll be back with that in just a couple minutes.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by P-Line, because we fish, by Hawken Fishing, perfection in fishing gear, and by Haxton's Canvas and Upholstery, the trusted name of the Pacific Northwest.